and distinguished colleagues, today is another day that we come here to lament and discuss the issues of insecurity in the country. Just last 2 weeks, Mr. President, you were in Maiduguri to condole the families of 43 or 67, as the case may be, of families that lost their lives in Zabarmari. On Saturday, again, 37 people lost their life in their camps in Tumur, in Niger, Difa province. Just last week again, 3 of the senatorial districts in Borno were attacked by the insurgents. One is what we are discussing today. In Borno Central, in Guam, Guam is just about 15 or 20 kilometers away from Maiduguri. There was an attack by the insurgents. In southern Borno, in Askira Uba, there was attack by the insurgents. Fortunately, the coordinated effort of the Air Force and Army were able to contain the situation. Mr. President, we have lamented enough. We had various public hearings. Under your leadership, you led 2 committees twice. You made far-reaching recommendations. We said here last week, none was implemented. We came here, invited several times the service chiefs and whoever matters in this issue of insecurity. And nothing was done. Instead, the situation is getting worse. Mr. President, at this time now, I think most of us, when such thing happens, we begin to wonder whether to say something or just to keep quiet. But as you said, we can't keep quiet. But then, we can't continue talking without result. And I appreciate the fact that you now say we should think outside the box. That may be the solution. And let me remind everyone here, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, we are leaders in this country. We have a responsibility. God will ask us, one after the other, what did you do as a senator? What did you do as a senator? I'm not a pastor or a malam, but I'm just reminding us what we know. And maybe that will touch our conscience. You can't start hiding under party or anything. We are leaders that are entrusted by our people to come and speak on their behalf. Not only speaking on their behalf, to do anything constitutional. And we know that why government is there is security and welfare of its citizens. I said last time, Mr. President, and we closely took the resolutions, and it's another week now. We cannot continue like this. We have to tell ourselves the truth. We have to stop talking to cameras and then, like more or less, people will start thinking that we are just grandstanding. We should sit down within ourselves and say it as it is and take appropriate actions. Mr. President, if you have any problem with that, allow the Senate to do it. We understand your position. You're in a difficult position. But let me tell you, Mr. President, God will ask you. Wallahi. So, Mr. President, God will ask all of us, but you will be in the front. I will say, I've told the Senate President, Maybe that will help me. But that's not a joke. Wallahi, we need to. Enough is enough of this. Enough is enough of us coming here to stand and talk. Even the one I'm saying now, when it will not matter. But it can. This is not the end. The Constitution is clear. It did not limit what we can do. The limit, we have not reached the limit. Let us consider it and see if we have to go further. And you must lead. Because that is what you swore to do. To protect the lives of Nigerians is number one. In fact, is why we are here. The government basic responsibility is security and welfare of its citizens. So, Mr. President, I want to conclude that yes, these motions are there. I did not speak on Katsina, not because I don't care about it, but everybody must have a chance to say something. And I believe that if you allow us, everybody has something to say, a little bit different from what we are talking about. Mr. President, you said we should think outside the box. We should not stop talking. We should not stop doing what we need to do. Mr. President, I'm waiting for you, and we are waiting for you to lead. And we need to close ourselves and talk to ourselves and see what we can do. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I finally want to add to the prayers that this Senate should also, as you went to Borno, send a delegation to Tumbul to see the conditions of our people. And let me say here,
when we come to the prayers, then you can bring your additional prayer.
President, for 6 years, we have over 120,000 Nigerian refugees internally displaced in Niger. Up to now, we have 60,000 internally displaced refugees from my local government in Cameroon. Only God knows the condition they are living. They cannot feed themselves. They are more or less in a prison, in a camp, and they can't move freely. And the handouts given to them sometimes is not even there. We have to do something, Mr. President. We, as the Senate, and as you said, we are bipartisan, and that means we give you all the support. You need to lead, and we need to do something. If we reach the end, Nigerians will be with us, because we have tried. It will show that we have done our best, and maybe the best is not enough. Thank you, Mr. President, and distinguished.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, since I came to this hallowed chamber, it has been one motion insecurity or the other. It has been 1 minute of silence or the other. I think the issue of security has occupied most part of this red chamber discussion. And at every time we've come up with compendiums, committees, solutions. And the situation doesn't seem to be getting better. Mr. President, the truth be told, we were elected by the people to come here and represent them. And when they did elect us, they believe within themselves that they have sent their best to our nation's capital to guarantee the security of their lives and their properties. But it is obvious that we have not lived up to that responsibility as a people. To move forward rather than getting angry is for us also to take responsibility. And we are quick at taking oaths, collectively or individually, still emphasizing on the security of lives and properties. I speak as a father and one that have children. I do not know what is going through the minds of these parents who all of a sudden woke up and to see that their children are no more. I'm sure there's pain and money in their homes now. And all they are saying within themselves is, so does it mean my nation can no longer save me? Does it mean my country can no longer guarantee the safety of my children and my properties? I could imagine what the families of the beheaded people in Maiduguri are saying right now. Does it mean my leaders can no longer help me out, watching their loved ones being beheaded? And every day we are seated here, still talking about the same issue. Mr. President, we have no business sitting here if we cannot respect that fundamental principle of security of lives and properties. I can't be proud sitting here as a senator when the citizens of Nigeria are languishing in pains and sense of loss. But let me put it this way. For those of us who are very smart and intelligent, and who might find coinages on how to address the nation's mood, the mood isn't right, Mr. Senate President. And what has not been spoken here is much more than what has been spoken in the minds of the people, no matter the act of printers or posture. The truth be that we have a challenge, a very big challenge. And we have only one commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our dear President, President Muhammad Buhari, on whose table stopped the final authority of this nation. We need to have a discussion, either by our invitation or by his own invitation. And we must sit down as elected people, not appointed people, who now represent the people to find a way forward. If Mr. President needs any form of help, whatever sacrifice we can make to help him succeed, we have to do that. But if there is nothing like that, Mr. President should take responsibilities. We do not have two presidents. And let us stop this issue of Chief of Army Staff resign, this resign, this resign. Let us rather see how we can talk with our president as elected people. There are only few elected people in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Just as the president was elected, is the way also we're elected. So we have to meet as elected people, represent the people, to discuss this matter, and ask Mr. President one question. My dear President, what are the challenges you have? How can we help to stop this insurgents and this news? If you have anything, we can now make the sacrifice and help him. But if Mr. President does not need our help, then Mr. President should take responsibility and show the lead and bring this insurgents to an end. But we, as a nation, and thank God that this Senate, irrespective of where they come from, are speaking out for this. An injury to any part of this country is an injury to all of us. So mine would be to insist that a meeting be called, either by Mr. President or by us, to look at the way forward. Anything that can bring rift again between these two arms of government will rather worsen the situation. May I appeal to all of us to bury our hatchet of anger and see how we can now collectively meet to look. While this is being done, good communication helps to solve problems and pains of the heart. Mr. President, also, in the language you have spoken, Mr. President of the Senate, in the same manner, let leaders address the nation in their capacities to calm nerves. Communication is very, very key. Silence sometimes is not the best of the answer. We must communicate and engage the people to show understanding. I'm sure that we would have suspended the plenaries and the team would have moved to Katsina in our hundreds from National Assembly. Engage the families where possible and say, look, we're in this together. We shall fight to win this war. Good communication emboldens citizens. This is the time we need communication and must communicate right. But Mr. President, your job from now is getting tougher and tougher, and I don't envy you. The situation has called for you to be bold enough to show leadership at this level so that this nation can move forward. I so submit.